And Vanessa was like, you're the Tila. Said she was gonna fight me, and then I beat her ass.
You're about to hear some real messy ass tea today. If you guys haven't heard, Chandler Nessa has got into some huge drama on TikTok. And a lot of people are not happy with Nessa for using the N-word on Chandler with the hard ER. And I had some receipts that I haven't even seen Chandler use. Trust me, you're gonna wanna watch this whole video. If you guys don't know what's going on, I'm gonna let Nosy give you the short version.
So let me break this tea down for you guys. So this is Nessa, and Nessa shared a story time about a friendship she had with somebody over 10 years ago. Now this is Chandler. She is the subject of Nessa's story time from 10 years ago. And in Nessa's story time, she called Chandler a monitoring spirit, and how over the course of their friendship that she had been mimicking her, copying her, and even stealing from her, allegedly. Now, Chandler didn't realize the story time was about her because she had Nessa blocked until people started tagging her on some of Nessa's posts. Now, after the comment cousins got into Nessa's comments like, oh, is it this other person? Is it this other person? Nessa would reply back and be like, no, it's not this person. No, it's not this person. But mysteriously, when Chandler's name came up, Nessa never said it wasn't her. So it's presumed that she was talking about Chandler. Now, Chandler posted a 10-part series and she brought all the receipts. Now, mind you, when Nessa did her story time, she just shared a story. She never brought receipts. She never produced any screenshots, nothing. But Chandler did. Now, in this particular screenshot, it's a conversation between Chandler and Nessa in 2019. And I'm going to read you a specific portion of what Chandler said to Nessa, which is literally blowing my mind. Now, at the beginning portion of the conversation, Nessa was telling Chandler how she was done with drama and she wants to move away from it. And Chandler tells her, well, if you're going to do better, but don't just wake up magically and say, oh, I want to change and think that everybody's going to forgive you, because they're not. Now, in the portion where she calls her the N-word, Chandler says to her, damage control doesn't fix what you ruined. You called me the hard ER multiple times when we were friends. Now, when Nessa replied back, she never disputed the N-word comment. She never disputed it. She never said, I never said that. When did you hear me say that? Blah, 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 blah. Now, Chandler goes on to say that although Nessa never addressed it back in 2019, she actually has the receipts of Nessa calling her the hard ER. She just never released them because she said, I blocked this girl, so I was done with her. So there was no reason to do a 50-part series about her. And Nessa hasn't addressed those statements either. And I'm assuming she won't because she knows that Chandler has the receipts.
So if you guys don't remember, Chandler and Nessa were really horrible in LA. Seeing their friendship break was a little bit surprising. It was so bad that they actually got into a physical fight, which I will also cover. Keep watching. But I believe this was the reason why Chandler decided not to be friends with Nessa anymore.
How this started, why we stopped being friends. I've explained this before, but we stopped being friends because I was in a group chat with Vanessa and 3 other people. At one point, it had like 5 other people, but like we started making group chats that we like deleted some people out of because shit started getting really personal. In the group chat, her and 2 other people who I'm not going to say their names because we've made up, we've talked shit through, we're good. Excuse me. Vanessa's the only one that decides to stay childish and continue to thrive off of drama from 2 years ago. But we were in a group chat and I had brought up my ex. I'm not going to say his name because he doesn't deserve clout either. But at the time, me and my ex were still good with each other. We were still like on and off. The conversation started because I made a video talking about my ex. Like it was a story time about my ex. And Vanessa was like, you need to stop making videos about him because if you don't make a video about him, your views aren't as high. Like you only get high views when you make a story time about your ex. And I was like, okay, but the only reason I make story times about him is because he decides to make story times about me. And so they were like, how do you know the story times are about you? He doesn't say anyone's name in his videos. And I was like, he doesn't have to say their name, like say my name. I know when a story time is about me. Like I know when an exact situation happened that he's putting in a story time. You get what I'm saying? And so the other YouTuber says he talks about other girls and shit. And I said, blank, like my ex, half of his videos are about me. I forgot to put R, but are about me. And she said, and Vanessa said, she was telling me not to do Dirty Truth or Dare. She was like, but not doing Dirty Truth or Dare is like Tila. And I said, I think I know. I was responding to this person up here. And then he was asking which videos I'm talking about. And Vanessa was like, you're the nigger Tila. And then I was still talking, like ignoring Vanessa this entire time, still talking to this person saying I'll screenshot the videos and tell him. And Vanessa goes, she's white, basically saying I'm the nigger Tila, like saying I'm the black version of Tila because Tila's white. And then this person was like, yeah, you probably would know what videos are about me, if that makes sense, okay?
If, like, the hard ER at the end, really, the black version of T, like, that's some real effed up ish, man.
So that's how this topic of my ex got brought up. By the way, the nigger Tila, really classy. As we're talking in this group chat, Vanessa, one of the nicknames, and I think I've talked about this before too, one of the nicknames that they used to call me in the group chat was Chan-ho.
That's funny, Chan-ho, you know what I'm saying, Chan-ho.
Because I film videos with guys, which, I mean, a lot of people call me a hoe because I film videos with guys. Sorry that guys like me and that they kiss me. Like, cool, I don't hook up with every single guy that I film a video with. But if people decide to look at it like that, like, I was quoting her. Because I have 1 million subscribers, I can make, oh, we're going to get to this. I can make fun of someone with a lisp, call her a hoe, call me a hoe, tear me down video by video, and call me a fake YouTuber, and then think it's funny. What an amazing friend. And she was like, that's cute. And then, let's see, am I talking about something else? Yeah, this is about something else down here. Okay. And so I was basically like getting annoyed with Vanessa because literally she's telling me like my career is fake and then I'm never gonna make it as a YouTuber if I just keep making videos with my ex. And she was also making fun of my ex's list. Now, this is the reason I brought up the relationship I had with my ex is so you guys can understand this. Yo, the lighting. Blah, blah. It's another thing for you to sit in a group chat every single day and make fun of someone's lisp and they're not in the group chat to defend themselves and you just think it's funny. You're bullying someone in a group chat and they're not even in it. Like, what? Like, are you really that bored? And literally, it wasn't just him. Like, Vanessa would talk about a girl's outfit. She would talk about, I'm not gonna say the name, but y'all probably know who I'm talking about in this situation. There was is she a YouTuber? I don't know what she is. A singer that had pictures taken of her on the beach and her period went through her bathing suit. Vanessa decided to throw that up in the group chat and make fun of her like she could control her period.
This is the thing, Chandler has been friends with Simply Vanessa for ages now and knew all the bad stuff she did and even had her back when she was doing some real feral-ish on the internet. You know what I mean? So you're just as bad as her.
People in the group chat. And like, it's funny because half the people she talked shit about in the group chat, she would go and smile in their face. And I'm just like, you're the fakest I know. So at this point in the group chat, when she was talking about my ex, and obviously like at that point in time, it was still someone I somewhat cared about if I wasn't like, you know, I didn't hate him at that point. But I was just over it. You're, one, calling me a hoe multiple times even after I asked you to stop. Two, you're making fun of my YouTube channel and saying like I'm never going to grow and that I should listen to you because you have over 1 million subscribers and you know how to get views and blah, blah, blah. Sorry, I don't want to make fake videos to get views. Just FYI.
Yeah, and the fake ghost stories.
And, okay, actually, let me show you this one first. I called her out on it. I said, all you do is pick on my ex, and now my YouTube channel. If that's what you call a friendship, then I don't want it. I can deal with hate somewhere else, but I don't need it being texted to my phone every day. Goodbye. And then one of the other YouTubers was like, can we please just talk about sucking? And I was like, nah, because then I'll somehow be called a hoe. And she laughed, right? The next message says, nobody called you one directly. Sorry, just because you don't say, Chandler, you're a hoe, doesn't mean that by calling me Chan Ho isn't still calling me a hoe, you dumbass. And then this person's talking about something else. And then she was like, you call yourself one. At Maggie's show, you literally did. I was like, I have told you to stop talking about blank multiple times. And then this YouTuber was like, am I right or am I right? And that's how they would literally text every single day. And the group chat was like by putting the TH to make it sound like they had a lisp. And she laughed. Now, the reason I'm showing this conversation is because, as you can see right here, I left the conversation. In Vanessa's video, she tries to say, like, she stopped being friends with me because I was toxic. Can anyone see anything toxic that I'm doing in this group chat besides defending myself and somewhat defending my ex? Like, wow, I'm so toxic. Group chat, because I left that one, right? So she started another group chat and added me to it. And in this group chat, they continued to talk with the list. She was like, are you okay? What's wrong? You know, texting like that. So I then said this. Like I said, by the way, Vanessa titled this group chat, so yeah, just like I'm saying, she literally does nothing but drag people down. But I said, like I said, talk shit about his personality, not something he can't change. And she goes, there's classes for it, actually. Oh, I totally forgot to block out his name. Okay, well, you guys can see. Oh, that's not even bad. Well, you still, okay, there's 2 other people in the other group chat, so y'all don't know who's saying what. But, I might as well continue the show, whatever. Denzel was like, Chandler, I want to meet him. He's talking about someone else, so. And then she was like, I can't because I haven't hung out with him. He was just kind of sitting there all intense. So she's talking about, like, when she saw him in public. Because, once again, Vanessa talks shit about people in group chats. But then literally, in here she says that she saw him in public and he was just sitting in a corner, antisocial, basically. And that she didn't get to hang out with him. Okay, bitch, but you saw him in person, so why didn't you tell him there that there's a classith for his list? Just curious. I responded, he has an overbite. Find a class that fixes that without surgery since you have such great ideas. And I put open bite. She goes, speecheth lessons. I'm sure it's not expensive. So apparently in Vanessa's world, if you're not made just like her.
And there was some big drama about that. Denzel, Nessa, some other guy, and Chandler were on live, like, discussing it. And then there was a playlist event where they almost got into a fight. They ended up getting invited to the same party where apparently they had their first fight.
She said she was gonna fight me, and then I beat her ass.
That in her video that I begged to be her friend, that never happened. This bitch was literally texting my phone talking about happy Valentine's Day. I know you were such a good friend. You were there for me when I was crying, blah, blah. I was with Jessica at the time. We were in my car. We read that shit and laughed and did not respond. After playlist ended, VidCon happened and I had already a lot of drama with, other YouTubers. You guys know what I'm talking about. Last year's VidCon, I had a lot of, drama with them. And so I wasn't going to, on top of that, add the drama that there was with Vanessa. So I didn't talk about it. And then once it passed VidCon, I was like, okay, it's too old to talk about. But then Vanessa made a video, like, I feel like it was like this year or like the end of last year, like way after it happened. And I was just like, yeah, whatever. We were at a party one night and then she was like talking about me to DDG. She was talking shit to him. And then he was like, basically like, yo, Chandler, she's talking. Like, just fight her already. And like I was like, I'm down to fight her. Like I will fight her right now, like at this party. And so I was like, I'll meet her outside because I'm not gonna fight in no one's house. Which I think in her video she tried to say that I was trying to fight in someone's house, which it was Jack and Jack's house that we were at.
It doesn't look like Simply Vanessa actually said that in her video. Roll it.
This girl is like, you know what? I'm gonna go and change, and I'm gonna be outside so we could fight. And I'm just like, we are at somebody's home, and you're trying to fight at somebody's home. How ghetto.
And she was trying to say that we were trying to fight at their house. And I was like, I went outside. And like people were like, I was with other YouTubers that like my friends at the time who were telling me like, Chandler, don't fight her. She's not worth your time. Just get in the car. Like they were trying to get me into the car to leave because I had walked outside already. And she had stayed in the house. Like she did not walk outside. So whatever story she came up with like me wanting to fight in the party and blah, blah, like that's bull.
It's still at the party. Like if you go outside and you fight in the street in front of their house or whatever, like it's still kind of at the party.
I was outside. She never came outside. So then after we leave, that's when she decided to continue to talk. And like literally was calling people's phones and saying like, I'll fight her now. Like I want to fight. If she wants to fight me, I'll fight her.
Now she's calling my phone, like, come outside, I'm gonna beat you up, come outside, we're gonna fight in the street, come outside. And I'm like, once again, like I said, we're not gonna fight at somebody else's home. That is very ghetto, very embarrassing. They'll never have us over again. I'm like,
and then she was saying like that she didn't want to fight me. The only reason she would fight me is because I wanted to fight her. But the whole thing, if you guys remember, like the whole situation, how it started was Vanessa saying that she was going to beat my ass. And I was like, wow, you're all talk, but you never do shit when you're in front of me. And then the whole fight at Playlist happened. And then when we were at Playlist, she threw a water bottle at me.
Now she finally gets into the part and explains the fight that she had between her and Simply Vanessa.
I was talking to someone who was watching the fight and he goes, Chandler, you were beating her ass until by the way, we fought at a park where there's like a hill or whatever. Until you guys fell down the hill, like it wasn't like a hill. How do you explain that? Like, when there's a tree and there's like a branch coming out of the ground. You get what I'm saying? You know what I'm talking about? That's what we tripped over. We both tripped over it. But when we tripped over it, I went backwards and she went on top of me. And so then she was on top of me fighting, right? But at this point, the two boys, because there was two boys that were up close and the rest of our friends were far away. The two boys pulled her off of me and was like, no, get up, get up. We get up. And tell me why this bitch is like, I won, and starts running towards the car, because we had, like, the cars parked on the street in case, like, police came or something. A stump, thank you. We had the cars parked on the street in case police came. So she starts running towards the car, like, I won. And I was like, nah, let's go again. Like, what the ends a fight like that? Because we fell and then they split us up. Like, you won? Because I was beating your ass until we fell. By the way, I hit her in the face. And it's funny because the next day, like, the person, like, one of the guys that was watching the fight was like, yo, you hit her in the face super hard. And so we were waiting for her to post a story on Instagram or something just to see her eye, because we knew it was going to be black. But she didn't post shit until like 3 days later. And then she was like, my face is perfectly fine. Like, she was like subtweeting, like not subtweeting, like throwing shade basically in a video. But it was like 3 days later. And even then her eye was still kind of like color faded. Like, you could tell she put makeup on it. So anyways, I was like telling her, like, let's fight again. I even called, like, when because they got in the car hella quick, y'all. Got in the car hella quick and drove off. We called her and we were like, nah, come back. We want to go. I want to, not we, but I want to go again. Like, I want to fight you. Like, come on. And so she was like, no, I won, da, da, da. Like, you know, and then literally, basically just bullshit.
So Chandler ended up showing a part of one of Simply Vanessa's videos where she actually brings up the situation on why she's not friends with Chandler Alexis again.
The whole, like, incident with a girl that I was, you know, friends with on YouTube at one point, the girl that I ended up fighting eventually, the reason why she got so mad and we stopped being friends, I'm not trying to, like, bring up old drama, I'm just gonna clear my name really quick because I never got to in the past. So the story all starts with me being friends with this girl. And you know when, like, somebody's in, like, a toxic relationship or they're acting crazy or they're doing something that they shouldn't be, try to put them in their place and be a good friend. The reason we actually stopped being friends is because of the way that I saw she was treating an ex. And I can only help so much as a friend. And eventually when I see constant self-destruction and the messiness and all that stuff, I just don't want to be involved anymore. So I stopped being involved, and guess what? She told everybody I was pregnant.
So, because I kind of paused this, I'm going to rephrase what she just said. She just said that the reason we stopped being friends is because she saw the way that I was treating one of my exes.
But I saw her being toxic and I tried to help.
She saw me being toxic. When you're the most toxic bitch on the internet.
And I'm sure you guys saw all of the videos and you saw how she actually is.
They love me.
But, like, I couldn't be involved in that anymore, so I stepped away.
She stepped away, okay? That's what y'all just heard. She tries to make it seem like she stopped being friends with me. She stepped away. I was too toxic, which is the funniest shit I've ever heard, because literally, you guys, when I show you these receipts, you'll realize it's flipped. This bitch plays the victim all the time. She was the toxic one. I stopped being friends with her. I stepped away from her.
And then Simply Vanessa was making story times about it, and that's when Chandler decided to respond to Simply Vanessa, and she went in. Okay, Chandler even kissed Simply Nessa's ex-boyfriend. By the way, I don't think she ever uploaded that video. That was so messy.
Excuse me. By the way, guys, I did film the chapstick challenge with Jan. He's a great kisser, Vanessa. Great kisser. Very good kisser.
Mother. Girl is the nastiest skank bitch I've ever met. Do not trust her. She is a fugly slut.
That is so messy, man. So grimy. While you guys are here, if you want to see how evil these two were back in the day, check out these two videos. Trust me, you would not regret it.